Today we're going to be talking about what happens if you get in trouble at basic training. But without further ado, let's get to it. Before you guys ask, yes, it is a drink. It's a cranberry vodka. We're having a good time. It's a nice Tuesday, right? We're chilling. But like I said, we're going to be talking about what happens if you get in trouble at basic training, right? For those of you that are new here, I'm Ben Allen. I was in the active duty Army for 4 years as a 68 whiskey, got out in 2019, did the reserves for about a year and a half. So I have that active knowledge and that reserve knowledge. So if you have any questions whatsoever, hit me up on my Instagram at the Ben Allen. It's the best possible place to reach me. Also, there's a link in the description for my Discord if you want to become part of that community. There's over 200 people in there that can help answer your all's questions, right? Be sure to like this video and subscribe. We're trying to hit 1 million in the next year, and I can do it with your all's help. But like I just said, we're going to be talking about what happens if you get in trouble at basic training. And what I mean by this, we're going to go through like the levels of trouble at basic, right? Because not all punishments fit the crime, right? There's different stuff that you can do at basic, and the degree to which you will get punished will vary depending on what you do. And this is going to be in terms of like how the drill sergeant see it, your commander sees it, and other people around you see it, right? So we're going to work from least to greatest, right? What's some of the lowest level stuff that you can be doing at basic training that will get you in trouble with like the least severe punishment, working our way up, right? So the lowest like punishment you could probably get at basic training is a warning, right? You do something like maybe you throw a pebble on the CTA or something, and they're just like, hey, private, don't do that again or else I'm gonna smoke the dog shit out of you, right? And cool, that's fine. Just, you got your warning, right? Don't do it again or else you're gonna get smoked. That does happen. You see that a lot, right? People like to test their limits at basic training. It happens. Moving on to the next level of punishment, right, is you get smoked, right? Smoking, I believe, would follow up to a warning. And you're lucky if you get the warning. Some people just skip the warning, they just go straight to smoking the dog shit out of you, right? Now this is like, say you're late to formation, right? Say you do something that's not good. You don't secure your wall locker. You don't get your laundry out of the dryer or something, right? Things that you have to do, and or places you have to be on time. Chances are they're gonna smoke the dog shit out of you. By smoke the dog shit out of you, I mean they're gonna make you do push-ups for like however much time they have available, really. If they have 30 minutes, they'll probably smoke you for 30 minutes. If they have an hour, they'll probably smoke you for an hour. And it's not just gonna be push-ups, it's gonna be like sit-ups, maybe sprints, a bunch of a variety of different workouts and different things, right? It just depends. So the next level of punishment, I would say personally, for me, I put it above smoking, mostly because I hated it and I just thought it was a waste of time, is they'll make you write an essay. I know they did this in my basic. If we fucked up or we did something wrong, or we were late somewhere, or we got dephased, meaning if we were in white phase and we did something bad and we got sent back to red phase, they would just be like, okay, write me a 1,000-word essay. Every other word has to be a different color. This actually happened in my basic. Thankfully, not to the males. It happened to the females because their drill sergeant, God, monster, bro, like monster. She was on that shit. She was about that punishment lifestyle, and she made them write a 1,000-word essay. Every other word had to be a different color. It was insane. I would rather get smoked for hours than have to do that. That's just so tedious, and you actually have to make the essay like make sense because they're gonna read those things. I'm telling you right now, they come back and be like, yo, what the fuck is this? And they're just like, okay, hey, like let's smoke you too, on top of having you write this essay. So just be warned, right? And this is if like for minimal stuff. Some drill sergeants like smoking you, some drill sergeants like making you write essays. So keep that in mind. Don't be doing dumb shit at basic. Just focus and do the right thing. Had to get a little sip, right? But moving on, right? So I think after the warning, after getting smoked, after the essays, it just continues to escalate, right? And I want to say the next level to me personally would be getting a counseling, right? A negative counseling is pretty bad in basic. It's not end all be all, right? You're still going to be in basic. You're not going to get sent back to an earlier date, right? I remember I got a counseling, right? Because I had contraband, right? Contraband is stuff you're not allowed to have at basic. Typically, when you get to basic for the first time, they're like, okay, if you have any of these items, throw them away in the amnesty box, right? Like, you'll be good. If you throw them away right now, you're not going to get in trouble, right? And so Sharpies were a part of that contraband. And I knew I had a Sharpie, but I could not find this Sharpie. It was just gone. It was nowhere to be seen. I was like, where the heck is this Sharpie? And I'm looking, I can't find it. So I'm like, okay, maybe I just lost it or something. And then like a month later, this is like week 5 of basic, we have a wall locker inspection where I'm dumping out all my stuff and the Sharpie just pops out in front of the drill sergeant. Like, private, you know you're not supposed to have that, right? And I was like, Roger, drill sergeant. And so they gave me a negative counseling because I had contraband. And this happens too if you take food from the MREs back to the barracks, or if you take food from the DFAC back to the barracks. You're not allowed to have food there. And they take that pretty seriously for some reason. I guess they don't want cockroaches or rodents in there, so I can understand that. And a lot of people got negative counselings for this. Negative counselings just prohibit you from, like, I know because I had a negative counseling, like I couldn't like get promoted in basic because of that. It knocked me down a few points on the order of merit, I guess you could say. So you don't want that because they're gonna look at that when they're trying to decide, oh, who are we gonna promote at the end of basic? Because a lot of people that were privates got promoted to PFCs, which, I mean, they're still privates, but still private first class. And because of that, my negative counseling, I couldn't. But by the time basic ended, they got rid of the negative counseling. They took it out of my record, and so I went to my AIT with a clean slate. So it wasn't that bad, but because of that negative counseling, I was held back from possibly getting promoted. I still got one of the top 4 awards, which was the Lieutenant Fox Award, but I would have rather taken the promotion, right? Because it's more money. So counselings, right? That's the next one. And now say you stack up a couple of these counselings, right? Say you get like 3 counselings. They can start a pattern of misconduct against you. And they can start trying to file you out of the Army, trying to kick you out based off of those negative counselings. I've seen it happen. It's definitely a possibility. So you do not want to be fucking up. And things that'll get you like fucked up in terms of counseling, like, you know, just doing bad shit in general, like maybe negligently discharging on the range, that'll probably get you negative counseling. Food in the barracks, negative counseling. Having stuff you're not supposed to, negative counseling. You know, just not being where you're supposed to be, negative counseling, right? And you know, that could probably get you separated. Now, on the most severe end, right? Like, what happens if you do this? Like, you get in trouble. Sharp and EO, right? The sexual harassment stuff and the equal opportunity stuff. This shit, they don't play around with this stuff in the Army. I'm telling you, like, this is crazy. Like, I saw one dude accidentally bump into a female in basic training, and the drill sergeant went up to her, was like, oh, do you want to sharp him? And she was like so scared because she's getting asked by a drill sergeant. She said yeah. And so they recycled this guy to day 0 of basic training. We were literally about to graduate. This is a big deal, guys. Sharp is nothing to play around with. EO is nothing to play around with. EO is equal opportunity, meaning you don't be racist. Don't discriminate. Don't do any of that stuff, right? Sexual harassment, don't keep your hands to yourself. Don't touch people. Don't say things around people that could be taken in a negative connotation. Keep the sexual jokes to yourself, because this stuff is serious. This stuff can lead to a case being opened against you. You could possibly get thrown in military prison, right? Who knows? You can get kicked out of the Army. This stuff is no joke. This is probably the biggest thing I'm hitting on right now, because I do not want you guys to fall into this trap. I know how the culture is, right? I know what it's like, right? You're around the guys. You want to joke. You want to talk about stuff from back home. You know, even if the other, like even the females do, right? If they're talking about stuff too, and a guy finds it uncomfortable, like they can get sharped. It's vice versa. It works both ways. Male, females, nobody's safe from sharp. If people are saying things around you that you feel uncomfortable with, you have, you know, the right to, you know, bring up that issue to your chain of command and be like, I don't like the way this was said, all that stuff, right? So you have to be very careful what you say, and if anything at all, don't say that shit in basic. Don't say that shit in AIT. Don't say that shit in general, right? Locker room talk is, you know, it happens, but in this day and age, it's not the place for that to happen. You know what I mean? It's better just to keep your mouth shut, move on with your day, and just don't get any of this bad shit happening to you. But overall, those are some of the main things that can happen to you if you get in trouble, right? Warnings, smokings, counselings, getting kicked out, and, you know, possibly jail time. Who knows? But those are the main things. Let me know if you took anything away from this video. Be sure to like this video so it pushes out to a larger audience. Subscribe, and follow my Instagram at @TheBenAllen. I try to respond to everybody within a week, and click the link in my description to join my Discord. There's over 200 people in there that can help answer your questions. But again, thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next one. Here's a drink to you guys. And yeah, later.